Shalom. This is, I guess we'll put this up on GMS Acidians, DMV, the brothers here in DC, Maryland, and Virginia. We have the elder with us. We say all praises with Yahweh by Shem Yahushai, and shalom to the elect. Today we're just going to bring out some various scriptures all through the Spirit. And hopefully, you know, young brothers out there, the elect out there, get edified. We're on our way to camp, and we're going to continue, Lord willing, the same topic on the highways and byways, if the Spirit permits. Bring out that scripture on.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 19. A brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
Right, a brother, see, that's one thing you don't want to do when you're in this truth, is offend a brother. And there's many ways to do so, you know? I mean, of course, there's going to be contentions among brothers, but you can avoid that. You're not supposed to purposely offend brothers, you know, especially when it comes to doctrine. You know, you got someone in the camp going off in doctrine. He's you know, of course he's going to be offensive to brothers, but number one, being offensive to the one who gave out the doctrine, Yahushua, you know. And right now, there's like an adultery spirit going around in Israel. You got this guy in Vegas putting up a video, basically cutting himself using the scriptures. I mean, I guess he started somewhere in Proverbs. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I didn't understand why he's reading this shit. Just fast forwarded. Basically, I talked to one of the brothers on the West Coast, and he didn't do it ignorantly. He supplanted the woman. He knew the woman had a man, you know, had a husband, and he still slept with her. So read that scripture again.
It says
18:19.
It says a brother offended is harder to be won than a strong city.
Right, and you could tell in that video that it was a speech. He wrote what he was going to say out. Like, he knew that he did wrong, and then he came out and he wrote in his description, I hope Yahweh has mercy. Well, he's not going to have mercy on you. If that guy who committed adultery, let him go and try and take over all Las Vegas by himself. He's not going to be able to do it. The same way you're not going to be able to get back into the camps. You kicked out the fold now. Like I said, if you can take over Las Vegas with the machete and a shield, then you can come back into the fold. So, you know what I mean? And that's just how it is. Because you offend one brother in one camp, you offend the whole body. That's why the scripture talks about not having those schisms. You're a goddamn schism. And that goes for even the guy that used to be in our camp, call himself Shemaiah Naya, or username A.276. And this guy Abiathar, he's going to get found out to be a liar too. Like this guy in Baltimore. All right, you're all going to get exposed because you offend brothers and you're trying to fly under the radar. But you don't fly under the radar in the truth. Everything gets revealed. Everything done in the dark is going to come out, like the scripture says.
Hey, the guy who committed adultery, that guy's an idiot. You know why I say that? Because here it is, you know, GMS, you know how we get down on adulteries. I mean, look at Zabak. You know, how many videos have we made? Countless videos putting Zabak on blast. For what? For adultery. So you mean to tell me this guy didn't see any of those videos that were putting Zabak on blast for adultery? He saw it. He was just led by his lust, man. You know? Hey, it tells you in the book of Ecclesiastes, he that is good before the Most High shall escape her. You know, the woman, and then in the book of Proverbs, the 7th chapter, it tells you about how a guy's simple-minded, roughly paraphrase it, a guy that's simple-minded, actually it's talking about the philosophies, but it's also talking about women too. How he got led by a woman and then he was destroyed.
Yeah, I believe,
towards the end.
Salaki, I believe that's the scripture he read in his video. You know?
He read the whole chapter.
So then basically he read his own judgment. You know, that's all he did.
Precepts,
matter of fact, you can get that one in Ecclesiastes. What is that? Ecclesiastes dealing with the woman. Is that the 7th chapter?
Yeah, it's the 7th chapter.
Yeah, just go right to the
okay,
point.
I get it.
You can go up a verse before the point, then read the point.
It says, go straight to the point you want?
Yeah, but go up a verse before the point.
Her house, this is Proverbs chapter 7.
No, Ecclesiastes.
I think Ecclesiastes 7:25. It says, I apply my heart to know.
No, read 7:26.
Oh, okay. Ecclesiastes 7:26. And I find more bitter than death the woman whose heart is snares and nets, and her hands as bands.
Oh, well, he fell into those snares and those nets. He fell into that band. You know, he got trapped up. Go ahead.
Whoso pleaseth Yahweh shall escape from her.
Now, why he didn't escape from that woman? Because he didn't please Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. That's why. You know. Go ahead.
But the sinner shall be taken by her.
Now he wants mercy. The Most High allowed him to get taken by her. Go ahead, brother.
Behold, this have I found, saith the preacher, counting one by one to find out the account, which yet my soul seeketh, but I find not. One man among 1,000 have I found, but a woman among all those have I not found.
Yeah, basically that's telling you that women are just not right, you know. That's why a woman have to be ruled over by a man. Because the Most High made man righteous. The Most High didn't make women righteous. And scriptures telling you that right there. You know? And then it also gives you the ratio of brothers that's coming in this truth that'll make it all the way to the end. The ratio is 1 out of 1,000. So out of 1,000 Israelites that are out there, only one guy will make it all the way to the end and be delivered. Only one guy will be part of that elect. So basically that shows you that there are more Israelites that's going to be destroyed than that's going to be delivered.
That's scripture. Oh, you done with that?
Yeah, I'm done with that.
So Proverbs chapter 6 verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
Yeah, so that guy's on no level to run any camp. In particular, Las Vegas. Because he's led by his lust, man. Go ahead, bro.
He that goeth, Salakia, he that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
Yeah, so now he's asking for forgiveness. There ain't gonna be no forgiveness, man. You know?
I believe there's also a scripture in the Apocrypha. It says, sit not at all with another man's wife.
There you go.
Sit not alone.
Yeah.
There you go.
You know, if a brother has a wife, I mean, it's understandable if the brother has a wife, they live together, that's one thing. You know, but you're not supposed to be over there if the brother's not there. Don't be over there with the brother, you know, the brother's wife sitting there chatting it up, you know?
That's right.
Leave it up to the brother if he wants to, you know, introduce you or, you know. But like the scripture says, sit not alone with another man's wife. Or wine and women make a man fall off.
Right.
No brother really should be talking to any brother's wife.
Right.
He really ain't got nothing to say to another man's wife.
Exactly.
You know, I mean, if the brother happens to be with his woman, and the brother says, oh, this is my wife, so-and-so. Oh, hey, shalom, sister. Shalom, hi and bye. That's it. You really have nothing else to say to another man's wife.
Con.
You know?
Leviticus chapter 20 verse 10 is the Lord. And a man that committeth adultery with another man's wife, even he that committeth adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death.
That's the law. Now, in the case of David, the Lord had mercy on King David. By rights, King David should have been put to death because he committed adultery, and in a sense, he committed murder because he set Uriah up to be killed so he could take his wife, which was Bathsheba. But the Lord gave him a punishment that was worse than death.
Right.
All right. During his lifetime, he never really knew peace. His own son, Absalom, came up against him. So in reality, the Lord gave him punishment that was worse than death.
Right.
So did David really get away for committing adultery? The answer is no. right? Even though the Lord had mercy on him, he gave him a punishment worse than death. So, that's one of the 10 commandments. Thou shalt not commit adultery. This guy wants us to feel sorry for him. Well, his fate is in the hands of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. That's all we got to say.
I believe there's a scripture in Job, if you know where it is, it says jealousy is the rage of a man.
Yeah, you can bring that out too.
No, that's Proverbs. I got you out. That's the spirit because it's in the same chapter. I'm gonna continue. I'm gonna read Proverbs 6:32. But whoso committeth adultery with the woman lacketh understanding. He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
There you go. Hey, even with David, his reproach was not wiped away. Right. The Lord still plagued King David. Why? Because he had committed adultery.
For jealousy is the rage of a man.
And also to go deeper, also to show the mercy of the Lord, because the scripture have spoken about the sure mercies of David. So by the Lord doing that, that showed his mercy too. You know, King David, the Lord had mercy on him. But he was plagued during his lifetime. Go ahead, brother.
For jealousy is the rage of a man, therefore he will not spare in the day of vengeance.
Yeah. You setting bad blood, man.
Right.
There can't be no harmony. You know, about a guy committing that's why they brought Zabak in question. That's why they brought his own guys brought him to council over that adultery issue. So that's a serious thing, man. Committing adultery. You mean to tell me with all the women that are out here, you just gotta have another brother's woman, man? You got Satan on you, man. There's no other way. You got Satan on you. With all these women out here.
I mean, there's even women you can pay for.
Yeah,
Damn.
you can pay for pussy, man. What's wrong with this guy? If he was burning so much, you mean to tell me you couldn't pay for some pussy? Buy some pussy? And you might say, well, I'm not into getting all these women are prostitutes, man.
Yeah.
They're not going to give you no pussy unless you take them to the movies or take them to Red Lobster so they can get some shrimp. Right?
That's an indirect payment right there.
That's an indirect payment, man. They ain't gonna open up your legs just because. I don't care how cute you look. You gotta give up some money, man.
Right. One way, shape, or another.
One way or another, exactly. So that dude is full of crap, man.
I got a scripture.
Yep.
But you know that's a part of the temptation. You know, this is James 1 and 12. It says, "Blessed is the man that endureth temptation, for when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Lord hath promised to them that love him."
And he don't even realize that was a test, which he failed. He failed miserably, man. Go ahead, brother.
Let no man say when he is tempted, I am tempted of the Most High.
That's right.
For the Most High cannot be tempted with evil, neither tempted he any man.
That's right.
But every man is tempted when he is drawn away of his own lust and enticed.
Now, I was thinking about that scripture, and that's the scripture. Every man is tempted when he's drawn away from his own lust. Now, you know what Paul said? Paul said lust, when it conceives sin. Now, this is perverted lust, and that's what that guy had. He had perverted lust, and the fruit of that perverted lust was sin. What is sin? Transgression of the law. What is the law? Brother Prashai just read it. The law is that you're not supposed to have sex with another man's wife. Go ahead, brother.
Verse 15. Then when lust have conceived, it bringeth forth sin.
There it is. That's the scripture. When lust, I'm sorry, read that again.
It said, then when lust have conceived.
Well, the conceive was what? When he got with the woman. Right? Go ahead.
It bringeth forth sin.
It brought forth sin. What is sin? Transgression of the law. He broke the law. He wasn't thinking about the Most High's law when he had sex with that woman. He was thinking about his lust, man. Go ahead, brother.
And sin, when it is finished, bringeth forth death.
Ooh. Woo. You don't have to comment on that. It says what it says. It speaks for itself. There's only one way out for this guy, death.
Yeah, come.
You know he had spiritual death.
Come.
He's cut off, man. You know, he's cut off.
Yeah, can I say something right quick?
Yep.
Yeah, because the problem is with a lot of guys, you know, through the spirit, they'll like how you say spiritual death.
This is Satan.
Fucking idiots. You know, it's like a spiritual death. What motherfuckers don't realize is it's not about what brothers see or what we see or anything. It's what the Most High. You could be the most righteous guy in person, but what are you doing behind closed doors?
Exactly.
You know, like, I don't know if he thought if he's gonna do it and nobody's gonna catch him or whatever the case was, but at the end of the day, it's not about what other men see. Like the men aren't the last judge. The Most High is the last judge.
Yeah, Yahweh Shem Yahshua
Right.
is the judge. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, he did it in secret, like the scripture have said. Stolen bread, how's it? Eaten in secret places. Stolen waters, sweet, something like that.
Constantly.
But yeah, the main thing was his lust. He acted upon his lust. And he brought forth sin, and just like the scripture said, bring forth death. In this case, spiritual death. He's cut off from the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahshua.
I got a quick precept. You got some? Okay. This is 1 Corinthians 6:9, like y'all said, spiritual death. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh."
That's the spirit. I was just looking for that scripture because there's a list. He falls into the category of a lot of this of what Paul's going to list.
Yep.
Saying basically, you're not going to make it if you're one of these.
That's right.
You can start it over on.
Yeah. It says, "Know ye not that the unrighteous shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh." It says, "Be not deceived, neither fornicators, nor idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminate, nor abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revilers, nor executioners shall inherit the kingdom of Yahweh."
Yeah, the kingdom of Yahweh is his knowledge. It tells you that in the book of Luke, when Yahweh Shai made the statement, said, "Behold, the kingdom of heaven is within you." Meaning he was talking about the knowledge that we have, the truth. So anybody that commits adultery shall not inherit the kingdom, meaning they're not inherit this knowledge. They won't prosper in this knowledge. And then you factor in spiritual death. They get cut off from this knowledge, from this truth.
This is verse 11. "And such were some of you, but ye are washed, but ye are sanctified."
Yeah, you know when Paul said that, those guys that were committing adultery in Corinth, Greece, they did it in ignorance. All right, they didn't come into the truth and then commit adultery. You know, because all of us, we're all adulterous. Yahweh Shai said this is a generation of adulterers because we committed adultery. Well, we did it in our ignorance. We didn't know. But when you come into the truth and you learn this knowledge, especially you learn about what adultery really is, then you go out and commit adultery, you're just asking for it, man. You have no excuse. That's it on that?
Yeah.
There's another one in Revelation where it says they'll have their part in the lake of fire.
Yeah, 21 I think it is.
On that.
But the adulterers, yep.
Unfaithful, unbelieving.
Yep.
Yeah.
Find it, bring it out. Yep.
Yeah, Revelations 21:7. "He that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power."
That's one thing you got to overcome too, yourself. Like I always say, man, your worst enemy in this truth is yourself. You know, that's your worst enemy. That's why Paul made that statement. He said, "I keep under my body." What did Paul mean when he said, "I keep under my body"? He used the laws, statutes, commandments to keep himself in check. Make sure that he didn't go off, you know? So the worst enemy in this truth is yourself, man. And this dude, he let himself get himself in trouble. He was led by his lust. Go ahead, bro.
It says, "And I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful and unbelieving, and the abominable, and murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone."
Yeah, so there you go.
Which is the second death.
which is the missiles, the nuclear missiles.